History's crazy rich ancients. um, a documentary, maybe alluding to crazy rich Asians, probably because it made a splash. I thought it a lousy motion picture, annoying, irritating to me. But then, by the way, don't watch this little thing because it's not just against the current. It probably surely doesn't make sense. As I was just saying, Crazy Rich Asians was such a success. Box office, ergo public, but also with the critics, as far as I can recall, if I do. But here, it not just. Not just it's more than modest in my book. It's anathema. Don't watch this because it gets your blood boiling. So, speaking of that, of the box office, the way it works here is I just speak of whatever comes to my mind. Most often these days is not connected to, what was I saying? Crazy rejection. It's just something I've read yesterday on this app, Variety. Try and look daily in recent weeks, months, to see what's going on in this fascinating. That's not a word I use, fascinating. Fascinating. I keep saying that at the news, and especially another one I don't like, Becky Anderson, is fascinating. Somebody's telling her a story, fascinating. So about Martin Scorsese, Martin Scorsese has spoken against Marvel movies. That's not cinema. That will destroy films as we know it, as they should be, and things like that. I mean, words to that effect. I don't remember quotes. And then there is this non-entity, the director of The Avengers, I think. A rich asshole, as commentators put it, who just had the luck that somebody, head of a studio, plucked him and put him in charge of that. But he had the rudeness, the stupidity, I'd say, well, and the arrogance, because he's awash with money, clearly, to respond to a TikTok thing, the daughter of Scorsese, or they made some fun and with the dog, directing the dog Oscar, and then this guy, the Avengers guy, responds, naming his dog Box Office. This is, we'll beat you with this, and it's money, dude. So I am on Scorsese's side. And I liked it when he said, and I recognize myself, if you will, keeping things in proportion, of course, in perspective. He said, hey, I can't watch it. I feel the same, you know. He tried, looked a little, but then. So, right. Now, a few words about the Crazy Rich. They look at the opulence, at the exaggeration, what some did, killing all sorts of birds, little ones, singing ones to kill a mockingbird, and put them on display, and they spend the equivalent of tens of millions of dollars, and from some lunatics like Caligula. Is he mentioned? Must be. Well, anyway, ancient Rome. There is a guy I have never heard, but then his only achievement is this opulence. He had a meal which is down in history. Henry VIII exaggerated by putting on a table for this one special meal like a third of the budget or of the country, a third of the GDP. And then others are getting an entry mentioned, cum laude, of course, ironically, the Bokassa, the monstrous, infamous emperor of Central Africa, now a republic, but still in trouble. I mean, it's one of those lost places which have Russian mercenaries, which signifies catastrophe, Wagner. So this Bokassa gave his enemies to the crocodiles to be eaten, and then he spent like times like that dictators do, enormous sums on meals, because they look at that, at least in this episode. And of course, I need to mention Putin. According to some sources, and I'd say logic, the richest man in the world. Not officially, I mean, Forbes cannot go there and look and no, but Navalny facing decades in jail. I mean, he will be in jail as long as Putin rules, and let's hope that's a short time. But Navalny and his group found this palace that puts Versailles to shame. Enormous. Then he has the cello player, a musician, who has no income, but then some billions of dollars in the Panama Papers. Just because he knows Putin, of course. There's this girlfriend, young woman he found, a former ballerina or gymnast or something, who owns a lot of money, and they traced to some yachts and things, property, Monte Carlo. Again, just because, not because she was a gymnast, but because she's apparently girlfriend, lover, whatever. So, crazy rich. Many of them idiots.